Ford CEO Jim Farley has just joined Herbert Diess. How has he joined him? He seems to agree that the real competition is not who we thought it originally was. Very interesting to see Herbert Diess and Jim Farley now saying the same things. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Welcome to the new subscribers to the channel. Welcome back to everyone else. Great to have you. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to jump on Patreon and get our weekly newsletter, which is coming out on Sunday, advising you of all my stock decisions and some other things that I think are going on, I'll put a link in the description below to our Patreon account. Now, Jim Farley just said that Ford's real competition is Tesla and NIO. NIO. Yes, NIO. Herbert Diess, what did he also say? He said Volkswagen's real competition is not BMW or Mercedes or Toyota, it is Tesla and China. Jim Farley and Herbert Diess have basically said the same thing within, what, a 3-month period. Very interesting to see the perception of these CEOs of what is going to happen over the next 5 years in the car market. Here's what he actually said. We know our competition is NIO and Tesla, and we have to beat them, not match them. CNET Post reports that the rise of NIO, XPeng, and Tesla seems to be unstoppable. And the CEO of Ford sees them as major competitors. I think when he says NIO, he's really referring to China, but that's just my take on it. Farley actually said this only, 1 day ago at the webcast of the Wolf Research Conference. Now, Farley didn't comment more on NIO and Tesla, but this is the second time he has mentioned the two electric vehicle companies in the past 2 months. In late January, Farley said he admires two players in the EV space. This is what he said. Well, the companies that I think about that I admire because of their commitment and frankly, the hard work they did to earn their reputation are companies like NIO and Tesla. They've been at this a long time. They engineer their vehicles differently. I'm most respectful of Tesla's profitability. They're now making more than $10,000 a vehicle in the second quarter earnings. So for those naysayers saying, oh, Tesla's not really making a profit, it's just they're funny reporting, they're just fudging the figures to make it look like they are. Well, Jim Farley doesn't agree with you. Jim Farley thinks that they are making a profit, and I think he's probably in a better position to know what is really going on. At the latest Wolf Research Conference, Farley denied rumors that Ford might split its internal combustion engine business from its electric operations, which I think was a good move. I don't know why they were considering splitting their electric vehicle operations. I mean, Ford needs to be an electric vehicle company, not an internal combustion engine vehicle company and a separate electric vehicle company. That's just a bad idea. Last week, Bloomberg reported that Ford had evaluated spinning off a small portion of its electric vehicle business as part of a restructuring in an effort to capture investor value for some EV startups. In other words, Ford was just thinking, how can we get some more money? Yeah. We'll spin off an EV company and try to raise money that way. It's sort of like a Nikola scheme, I think. I'm glad to see they didn't try and continue with that idea. Farley said, we have no plans to spin off our electric business or our ICE business. Farley said Ford believes it can make the traditional internal combustion engine vehicle business much cheaper through better quality, lower construction costs, and reduced vehicle complexity. I don't know how they're going to do that because, to be honest, really, to be fair, factual, diesel and petrol or gas engines, they're not simple. They're actually complex. What are you going to do? Just remove the radiator? Just remove one of the many, thousands of parts that an internal combustion engine needs to operate? You can't just remove them. I'm not really sure what Farley's hoping to do there, but I'm intrigued to see. To get the margins, he said, that we see at a company like Tesla, we need to have real experts that can drive that scale, Farley said, adding that Ford needed to hire more people who work in the areas of electrical components, advanced electrical architectures, and the digital customer experience. So Farley himself is admitting that one big advantage that companies like Tesla have, well, specifically Tesla has, is that their workforce are experienced in driving down cost in electric vehicles. I'm just going to reiterate what he said. To get the margins that we see at a company like Tesla, we need to have real experts that can drive that scale. In other words, Ford don't have the scale right now. And he's saying it's not easy to create scale in building electric cars at an affordable price. So really, there is no legacy auto company on the face of the planet right now, in my view, that is currently making the kind of profit that Tesla is from electric cars. They don't exist. Even Herbert Diess said it himself. Herbert Diess said the profit that they get from electric cars is nothing like what Tesla gets. So they don't exist. So this idea that somehow legacy auto are just going to turn a corner in a matter of months or a matter of a year and suddenly be able to offer massive millions of electric vehicles to compete with Tesla is just a myth. And Farley and Herbert Diess are saying it themselves. It's way harder than you think. Stellantis CEO said it as well. He said, we can't actually make affordable electric cars. So it's much more difficult than people realize, which is the scary thing, right? The scary thing is Tesla's doing it. So is China. China as a country is doing it. I mean, there's how many electric vehicle manufacturers in China doing it right now? Now, to be fair, Aura, who are the electric car brand of Great Wall Motors in China, did just stop selling 2 of their electric vehicles because they're losing money on every single one they sell. Aura sold, I think, more than 20,000 electric cars in China alone in December of last year. However, if you're making a loss, you can't keep doing that. They've just proven that fact. And so quickly the CEO has said, yep, we're going to stop selling those until we can make those cheaper. And why they're making a loss? Well, the cost of producing those vehicles has increased due to the increased cost of materials. So you need to get material costs under control. How do you do that? You get long-term supply contracts signed off early, like years in advance. Years in advance. That's what you have to do in order to supply cost. And has Legacy Auto done that? I just don't think they have. I really don't think, I don't see these contracts being signed for 5 years in advance of battery capacity right now, or at least within the last few years. I just don't see that happening. Maybe it is, and we just don't hear about it. We just don't know. What I can see here clearly, Jim Farley from Ford is saying that companies in China, such as NIO and Tesla, have structural advantages when it comes to building EVs. But here is the good news. The good news is Herbert Diess and Jim Farley are both aware of what they need to do. They're aware of the advantages. They're aware of where they need to be. That's what I like. I like the fact that they're admitting. They're not saying head in clouds, we're the best electric car company in the world, GM. Everything's rosy, everything's great. We're gonna crush it. They're actually acknowledging what they need to do better. And I think the first sign of a good company, of a company that's actually going to improve, is acknowledging a weakness, being aware of what it is. Then only then really can you say, okay, here's what we need to do to improve. Here's what we need to do to become a serious competitor to Tesla. Having that awareness is extremely important, and clearly Farley has it. So kudos to him for that. Now, what I want to know is what you think about this story. I find this fascinating. I honestly, I have a lot of respect for Farley. I have a lot of respect for Herbert Diess. I have a lot of respect for Elon Musk. There's 3 CEOs in my view, in addition to the CEO of BYD and, to be honest, the CEO of NIO and Xpeng. Those 5 CEOs are really leading right now. Kudos to them. Kudos to their leadership efforts over the last 12 months. Let me know if you agree with me though. Who do you see as the top CEOs in the automotive industry right now? Do you think Farley here has a point? And do you think that this could be an advantage that GM or that Ford have over GM? This awareness of really what's really going on. Thanks for watching. See you again.